Warriors shocker. Golden State has just made a decision that absolutely no one saw coming, and it could change the entire direction of the franchise. For years, fans have expected the Warriors to stick to their championship core, but this latest move shows the front office isn't afraid to shake things up. With Stephen Curry's legacy on the line and pressure mounting after back-to-back disappointing seasons, the Warriors have taken a bold step that could either reignite their dynasty or push them into uncharted territory. Did they just shift away from their long-time identity? Did they finally commit to a youth movement, or double down on winning now with a massive surprise move? The NBA world is in shock, and every fan is asking the same question: what does this mean for Curry, Klay, Draymond, and the future of Golden State basketball? The Golden State Warriors have just made a shocking decision that has left the NBA world absolutely stunned. Nobody saw this coming, not the fans, not the media, and not even the insiders who usually seem to have every scoop before it hits the headlines. This move could completely reshape the Warriors' future, and it could determine whether Stephen Curry gets another championship run or whether the dynasty officially fades away into NBA history. Tonight, we're diving deep into this bombshell decision, how it happened, why it happened, and what it means for the Golden State Warriors moving forward. Strap in, because this one is going to shake the league to its core. For years now, the Golden State Warriors have been the model of consistency. A dynasty built on trust, chemistry, and star power. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, the trio that changed the way basketball is played. Add to that the vision of Steve Kerr and the bold front office moves of Bob Myers in the past, and now Mike Dunleavy Jr., and you've got a franchise that's been at the top of the NBA mountain multiple times. But as all dynasties do, cracks eventually begin to show. Father Time is undefeated. Roles change. Young players want their shot. Veterans fight to hold on to their legacies. And front offices face the toughest decisions: who stays, who goes, and who carries the torch forward. This shocking decision from Golden State is one of those moments. It's a turning point. It's not just another roster shuffle or a casual contract update. It's the kind of decision that defines a franchise for the next decade. And the way it went down, the way it blindsided so many, makes it even more dramatic. Imagine fans scrolling through their phones, seeing the notification pop up and their jaws hitting the floor. Social media instantly exploding. Players around the league texting each other in disbelief. That's the level of shock we're talking about here. The question is, what decision did the Warriors make that has left everyone reeling? To understand this, we have to rewind just a little bit. The Warriors came into this season with so many question marks. Could Klay Thompson still be that elite sharpshooter after injuries? Could Draymond Green keep his composure and contribute at a high level? Could Andrew Wiggins bounce back and return to his all-star form? And perhaps the biggest question of all, could the young guns like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody step up and finally show that they're ready to take over the future? The pressure has been mounting on Golden State's front office to make a call. Either keep pushing with the veteran core and give Curry every ounce of help possible, or pivot to the youth movement and start building for the next chapter. For months, insiders speculated on trades. Giannis Antetokounmpo's name popped up in rumors. Kevin Durant's return was teased by some. Even shock moves like Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, and Damian Lillard were thrown around in whispers. Fans debated endlessly. Should the Warriors go all in for another title or reset the clock with their young stars? And then it happened. The Warriors made their move. Reports broke out that Golden State has decided to completely shift gears and commit in a way that nobody thought they would. It's a decision that involves the core. It's a decision that involves the future. And it's a decision that could either make the Warriors unstoppable again or could haunt them for years. What makes this moment so shocking is not just what the Warriors decided, but when. Timing in the NBA is everything. Wait too long and opportunities vanish. Act too fast and you risk making a mistake that can't be undone. For the Warriors, this decision came at a moment when the league thought they would stay patient. Instead, Golden State flipped the script. They showed the world that they're not afraid of bold moves. Now, let's break down the ripple effects. First, we have to talk about Stephen Curry. Curry has been loyal to Golden State his entire career. He's given everything to this franchise: his prime years, his body, his leadership, his legacy. Every decision the front office makes is ultimately tied to whether or not Curry gets another shot at glory. So when this shocking decision was made, one of the first questions fans asked was, how does this impact Steph? Does this give him more support, or does it put more pressure on his shoulders? Curry has already proven himself as one of the greatest to ever play the game, but even legends need help. The NBA is too competitive, too loaded with talent for one man to carry it all. Then there's Klay Thompson. The Splash Brothers' legacy is one of the most iconic in basketball history. But the reality is, Klay is not the same player he once was. That doesn't mean he can't contribute, but it does mean the Warriors had to face some hard truths. Fans love Klay. Teammates respect Klay. But this decision could directly affect his role, his contract, or even his future with Golden State. And that's where the shock factor really kicks in. Nobody expected the Warriors to take this kind of stand with one of their most beloved players. Draymond Green is another key part of this. Draymond has always been the emotional heartbeat of this team. The energy, the defense, the leadership. But he's also been one of the most controversial figures in the NBA, with technicals, suspensions, and heated moments that sometimes overshadow his impact. This decision could test Draymond's loyalty. It could test his relationship with the front office. And it could even test his friendship with Curry. But what about the young players? Jonathan Kuminga has been one of the biggest storylines this year. At just 22 years old, he's shown flashes of brilliant athleticism, scoring, defense, all the tools to become a star. Yet, for some reason, he hasn't always gotten the minutes or the trust. That's led to rumors of frustration, possible trade requests, and even tension behind the scenes. This shocking decision might involve Kuminga in a way nobody predicted. Either the Warriors are finally handing him the keys to the future, or they've decided to move him in a blockbuster deal. And whichever direction it is, it's going to be huge. The Warriors' decision also impacts how other teams view them. Around the league, GMs and coaches are now scrambling to react. If Golden State is making this kind of move, what does it mean for their rivals? Teams like the Lakers, Celtics, Nuggets, and Bucks are all watching closely. Because make no mistake, when the Warriors make a move, the entire NBA landscape shifts. Opponents know that Curry can catch fire at any moment, and if Golden State has just reshaped their roster or their strategy, it could put everyone else on notice. Now let's talk about the fan reaction. Dub Nation is one of the most passionate fan bases in all of sports. They live and breathe Warriors basketball. They've stuck by the team through the highs and the lows, from the 73-9 season to the injury-plagued years, to the championships and beyond. But this decision? This has fans divided. Some are celebrating, saying it's the bold step Golden State needed. Others are furious, calling it a betrayal or a mistake. Social media is on fire. Twitter threads, TikToks, YouTube breakdowns, everyone is talking about this. And that's exactly why this move is so shocking. It's not just about basketball. It's about identity, legacy, and the future of a dynasty. So where does this all lead? The truth is, the Warriors are now at a crossroads. They've made their choice, and there's no going back. This decision will either put them back on the path to another championship parade in San Francisco, or it will mark the beginning of the end. But one thing is for sure, no one expected this. And that's what makes it so dramatic. This is the kind of decision that fans will look back on years from now and say, that was the moment everything changed. Just like drafting Curry changed everything. Just like signing Kevin Durant changed everything. Just like injuries to Klay and Durant in 2019 changed everything. This is another one of those franchise-defining moments. And the story is still being written. The season isn't over. The playoffs are still looming. The roster could still evolve. The chemistry could either explode in brilliance or collapse under pressure. Every game, every possession now feels heavier. Every moment is magnified. That's the weight of this shocking decision. The NBA is a league of surprises. Trades, signings, drama, it never ends. But what Golden State just did, this move that no one expected, might just be one of the boldest decisions of the last decade. And whether you love it or hate it, you can't ignore it. The Warriors have spoken. The dynasty isn't done quietly fading into the background. They're making noise. They're shaking things up. And they're reminding the world that when you least expect it, Golden State will always find a way to shock you. And now the question lingers in the air. Will this shocking decision bring another championship to the Bay Area? Or will it backfire and leave the Warriors wondering what could have been? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the NBA will never be the same after this.